right? I go to Diddy parties, which is where people like me step in. To walk out, because ain't nobody stopping me when I come. Why would they talk about it? Who is there to go to? Who's gonna f them? What HR department do you know of that works for any of these labels?
Yeah.
When have you ever heard of a suit being publicly acknowledged in the entertainment industry at all? Never. Not in entertainment.
Tupac. Remember that one?
He was the only one.
Yeah.
You saw how that turned out.
Yeah.
No, guilty.
That's why they do it. To make you an example. To remind you what they're willing to do to keep things the way they want them. It's intimidation. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case.
Ahem. Can Jaguar Wright please come to the front of the class, please? Miss Wright, you used to say that you would walk girls out of the freak-off.
Things have taken a wild turn lately. Orlando has officially teamed up with Allie Carter to call out Jaguar. And let me tell you, they did not hold back. They exposed her with receipts and straight up dragged her, revealing that most of what Jaguar's been saying? Yeah, it was either secondhand gossip she twisted for drama or complete fiction she spun out of thin air. What makes this mess even deeper is that Jaguar has been manipulating people into thinking she needs their financial help. On top of the money she's earning from YouTube platforms that pay her to appear and spill so-called truths, she's also cashing in heavily from her own channel's views every time she hops on to stir things up with new claims. Her followers genuinely believe she's out here uncovering dark secrets in the entertainment world, but behind the scenes, it looks more like a performance meant to entertain, mislead, and collect coins. And what really shocked everyone is that Allie and Orlando, who usually join forces with Jaguar to expose industry secrets, turned around and exposed her instead. According to Allie, Jaguar started acting funny ever since more people began tuning into Allie's content. She says Jaguar felt threatened, like she was losing influence, and tried to undermine her to stay in control.
A lot. Mainly from big kitties. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty.
And let me tell you, that was only the beginning. Allie did not hold back. She completely went in on Jaguar, calling her out as a con artist who has made serious money by getting online and feeding lies to people who are genuinely searching for the truth. She painted Jaguar as nothing more than a well-paid plant, someone pretending to be a truth teller while secretly playing a role. According to Allie, Jaguar has carefully crafted this image to gain trust, all while using that same trust to mislead and manipulate the very people who believed she was on their side.
In truth teller clothing. Here, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
Allie did not mince words. She accused Jaguar of making a profit off of people's trauma while pretending to be the hero in the story. According to her, Jaguar only shows up when her funds are low, dropping wild accusations to grab attention. And once she has everyone hooked, she refuses to reveal more unless money is involved. Allie called that out as a red flag, saying if Jaguar truly cared about exposing the truth, especially with innocent children's lives on the line, she would not be putting a price tag on justice. She would speak up freely, not charge people to hear the rest of the story.
Wolves in truth teller clothing. They want you to give them a Patreon subscription fee, all the money, and I think people have got into this mindset of if I want the truth, I have to pay money for it. If I want the truth, I have to put it off on somebody else. Waiver from the children? A lot. How many times do they tell you about the children? How many times do they tell you to get up for the children? How many times do they call you to action for the children? How many times do they not waver from the children unless it's trending? When do they talk about the children? Do they only talk about it when it's trending? If they're talking about do they talk about the children? Here, Kiki. I don't believe in panthers. I believe in a kitty kitty. I know. I've lived with them. I've dealt with them. I know how they work. If they don't get their way, they point fingers. When they don't get their way, they pull things like Jay-Z pulled when he all of a sudden he don't know this.
Of course, y'all knew Jaguar was not about to stay quiet while Allie aired her out like that. She clapped back quick, hopping on live to issue a stern warning. Jaguar told Allie to quit using her name for attention, saying loud and clear, I'm not the one, and I am definitely not the two. She made it crystal clear that if Allie kept pushing, she was ready to take this feud all the way to the end. Jaguar told her, stop chasing clout with my name, even if you're doing it to protect yourself. I'm not Lamisha Fuller. I'm not out here making things up to destroy your name or pretending you've got dirt I can expose. And she did not stop there. Jaguar later appeared in another interview where she doubled down on her stance and unleashed another verbal takedown on Allie. She claimed that, unlike Allie, she backs up her words with evidence. People say I have no receipts, yet every time I point them to something, they find what they thought was hidden, buried deep in the algorithm, just sitting there in plain sight. She brushed off the backlash, saying she was unfazed by ignorance, because to her, ignorance is nothing new. It's always been here, she said. People just chose to pretend they didn't see it. But now, things are about to get too real to ignore. Now, the reason people started siding with Allie and turned on Jaguar was because this controversy came right after Orlando Brown also exposed her. In a shocking interview, one that was originally supposed to be a joint effort to expose the industry, Orlando ended up confronting Jaguar face-to-face with jaw-dropping accusations. He even alleged that Jaguar used her deceased son's remains in witchcraft rituals to manipulate people into trusting her. Yes, he said it right to her face. What set Orlando off? During the interview, Jaguar said something that suggested she saved him. That rubbed him the wrong way. He made it clear he was not about to sit there and let her act like she was some sort of savior. That was the breaking point. He turned on her in the middle of the interview and went all in. He told her, "You keep saying I honor you, like you're my guardian angel or something? You're not. I did all this for one question. You were out there, outside that place, throwing ashes, my brother's ashes. What did that mean to you?" The interview grew intense. Orlando demanded to know why Jaguar had thrown his brother's ashes on people, calling it disrespectful and disturbing. Was it voodoo? Was it some kind of ritual? Because we all saw you do it. What does it mean when you throw someone's remains like that? He pressed her hard, saying if it had been him in the bag, if she was throwing his ashes, what would that represent? I'm his little brother, so explain to me what that means. You threw him like dust, over everybody. I want to understand what that meant to you. Jaguar stayed vague, and the tension kept rising. But the damage was done. With Orlando's accusations coming right before Allie's, many began to question Jaguar's motives, and the whole internet could feel the shift. Things got intense fast when Orlando Brown challenged Jaguar Wright during a heated moment. As emotions flared, he brought up a deeply disturbing incident, one where Jaguar reportedly scattered her late son's ashes in public, something he claimed to have witnessed and was clearly haunted by. His pain and confusion poured out as he asked her repeatedly why she would do such a thing, what it meant to her, and whether it was some form of dark ritual. She responded vaguely, deflecting, as if trying to dodge the emotional weight behind his questions. Orlando, visibly shaken, revealed he had once tried to help her get out of jail, going so far as to call at 4:30 a.m. to post her bail. But authorities allegedly told him it was already being handled. His frustration, though, was not just about that. It was about feeling betrayed by someone he once respected, someone he now believed was using trauma and mysticism for personal gain. This all stemmed from a widely circulated video in which Jaguar was seen throwing what were believed to be her son's ashes on people and then pouring the rest over herself. The video shocked viewers when it surfaced and still haunts many to this day. During their back and forth, Orlando became fed up and openly expressed that he had no more patience for the interview. At one point, he compared her to his ex, suggesting she was just too much to handle. Jaguar tried to laugh it off, brushing it aside with humor, but the tension in the room was impossible to ignore. As this drama played out, more and more people started questioning Jaguar's stories. Allegations of inconsistencies in her accounts began to surface, especially when compared to verified court testimony and credible witnesses. While she previously claimed she escorted women out of so-called freak-offs, that narrative unraveled under closer scrutiny. At first, her story sounded believable. Listeners assumed these events were wild industry parties, filled with chaos and countless guests. But now, thanks to testimonies like Cassie's and reports from paid insiders, we know these freak-offs typically involved just Diddy, Cassie, and a male escort. They were small, private encounters, not the crowded events Jaguar described. Her tale of heroically walking women out simply did not align with the reality of what these meetings looked like. This led to people questioning, if Jaguar was not actually there, who exactly was she helping? Cassie, by all accounts, was the only woman involved, and there's no record of her ever being escorted out by Jaguar. The more people looked into it, the more it seemed Jaguar may have inserted herself into stories that never involved her, spinning narratives for attention and engagement. Some critics began to believe that Jaguar had fabricated much of her image by lifting pieces from internet forums, rumor mills, and underground blogs, then reshaping those tales to make herself the central figure. One person even joked that she probably built her whole identity from Reddit threads and slam poetry videos. Another added that while she once brushed shoulders with fame, meeting Jay-Z for example, she was never the superstar she made herself out to be. Instead, they claimed she exaggerated her past, leaned into conspiracy, and built a following based on half-truths and drama. Now that more information is coming to light, it seems the walls may be closing in on Jaguar Wright, with people like Ali Carter and Orlando Brown publicly calling her out, and fans dissecting her every word. It is becoming increasingly difficult for her to maintain the image she built. But what do you think? Is Jaguar truly fabricating these stories for fame and money? Or is she a whistleblower being strategically discredited by the very industry she's exposing? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you are ready for more jaw-dropping revelations, click on the next video.